Okay, so does classroom technology enhance what or how children learn, or does it get in the way of learning? In Cuts, what was the question you had about it?
Uh, at which tech, at what technology level do we start? Do we speak like of an African class or an first world class room?
Well, we'll do first world, because most first worlds are doing technology.
Okay.
Does anyone have a thing like, do you guys think it is affecting how students are learning?
Yes,
But how?
Yeah.
in a
Explain.
better way.
Okay, but how? Okay. that went real well.
Yeah.
Like, Danny, do you have a thing, like, do you think it is helping classes, or do you think it's doing more harm than good?
In most, I think it's helping. I
Like,
can't say for
overall,
all,
it's
but
helping.
most it's helping. Like,
I
let's say, what?
I see it as it's not fully good because when you people easily get distracted by it, and then if you have like computers and stuff, what stops kids from
Mm-hmm.
cheating or getting distracted, going on other things?
Yeah,
I
see,
preferred books, like textbooks, over like the computers
oh,
we have right now.
okay,
I prefer them in some way, don't in other ways. Like, if we're writing an essay, I want it on a computer.
Exactly. That I like, but if it's like
Because,
tests and homework on computers, no.
especially because if you do it on a paper, you write it and then you, like, you think, oh, I should put this earlier in. Too bad, there's no space.
I
I
think
know,
computers,
faster.
personally, I
Hmm?
think whatever you want to know at your fingertips is a very useful tool, and it should be used, not overlooked.
Well, the thing is, what
That's
stops
true.
them from looking at other things besides what they're supposed to be learning at that moment?
Blue codes and stuff. Well, actually, in that case, my school has found VPNs and stuff. The majority of
Yes,
my
but you
school.
can get away around them easily.
Well, yeah, my school's also starting to block a lot of the more, but on the computer, so just take it away.
well,
For us, mostly they.
Like I'm,
that
I
Because
am at like a specifically tech school, right? So everybody gets their own tablet that they can actually bring home and
Yeah, mine we get
nice.
little laptops, and I just
for
go to.
sorry. No, I just say like same for my the school in America, and they don't give us, but they have computers there, and we just use them. But one in Denmark, we had our own computers. We brought them to school. We brought them back. We did whatever we wanted with them, but
I don't know how to feel. It's like whatever you search, they would know, but they also don't know at the same time. It's like how well are they actually looking at the computers?
hmm but
Yeah,
there's
my
the
school
thing
will
like with
only check if they have a reason to check. That's why it's kind of nice. I also have a VPN on, so they can't really look at it whatever I'm doing.
Exactly.
but
When
Which
you
I
do a
know,
VP, exactly. When you do a
I know
VPN,
my case, but
the school cannot see what you're doing. So what stops you from doing things you're not supposed to if they
okay,
don't know
yeah,
that you're?
yeah. Look, the thing
well,
is,
nothing.
why do you don't look at the stuff you have to do? Because it's boring or you don't want to do it. So you have to do the stuff you have to learn. You have to compromise it with the computer so you can play something and learn by it. So let's say you learn Hearts. Let's say you play Hearts of Iron 4 and you learn about history. Yeah, it's not the best example, but you know what I mean.
yeah, they can
They
be
need
used
to make
very.
school fun. That's the problem. It's not fun enough. Like in a history class.
Yeah, but that it can be used for some things. History is one thing. Like we had in my history class at one point we had a like choose your own thing game for at one point when the Indian Napoleonic War, Britain bombarded Copenhagen for 3 days. They're like, what do you do? Do you do nothing? Do you talk with French or something like that? And then I would say outcomes.
And there are a lot of
But
like Duolingo and like a lot of math apps that you can just get on your phone that use flashy colors and stuff and make it actually interesting to learn.
yeah,
Like learning
that's more
language, Duolingo is
language.
fucking useful.
Quizlet, I guess you could do. not for extra class, but it's more and more for you could do those more for like what's it called, vocab. Like
Yeah, the thing with Quizlet,
we do
thing with Quizlet is it's very
yeah we do.
questionable. Like, when exactly is it going to be useful, and will people actually go on it? Is the thing.
Quizlet
History teacher,
for
my
me,
civics teacher, really used civics like Quizlet a lot, and it was nice. Like with
yeah,
the
we do
flashcards
we do
and
Quizlet a lot in French, like for vocabs, for example.
Yeah, I had a lot in French, but
And that makes you like remember, oh, this means this. Like for example, two different words, one meant like nurse and one meant nursery. You have to know the difference. Then it was like a letter off.
I don't know. It's a very iffy thing. It's like, yes, there's good, but there's also going to be bad to it, because we don't fully know how well
Yeah.
people remember it. Like,
But the thing is, if people cheat, I don't know, if people cheat, maybe put in some
I
tests
think it would
to check how good they are. Like, but not test, you just find off. Like, for my school, they would sometimes they would get handed a national test, and we could do them to teach about the answers and everything. That means that no answers would be out there, unless like a teacher leaked them or something.
I know
Which
some
one?
things. It's like I remember some things better if I write them.
Yeah, that's true. That's what they say. Like, you'll remember it better if you write them. Like, I have a lot of notes. I just don't look at them. I mostly remember most of it from
do
writing.
that, but I also lose my notes a lot of the time, like just randomly.
Yeah, but if you write them, you remember some of it.
Some of it though, like if it's on a tablet, you can always look at it whenever you want. But that'll also like. Like,
You can't went silent.
oh, sorry. Like you'll have to have like place trust in your students, right? If you have all,
But how well can you trust your
work.
students, though?
I don't know. Well, like if they take notes on their tablet, right, or on like a computer, they can access it at any time, right? And if they're good students, then
I have an
Keyword
idea.
if.
they have their notes.
Yeah, I have an idea. Like, it could be like more acceptable in AP classes
I can understand in AP classes, but
because they are
What AP class?
gooder. They're better
A
students.
push, it's like a higher level than default. Like there's a normal
Advanced,
class. Yeah, it's like
like
advanced
honors
They
classes,
have
and-
basically.
normal honors
Hmm.
and then AP. AP is the top, and it's advanced placement.
So it's
Okay.
it's AP honors, something else,
How-
and then normal.
How I got described AP math was, it's in normal math they'll tell you the thing 3 times, and in AP math they'll tell it once.
Yeah.
So like people are faster at learning.
You
You'll also see if you're
yeah,
in
you
AP,
cover like 3
people
times
with
the topic.
better grades. You're normal, the greatest shit.
Basically, an APC is a normal class A. Oh
No.
no, I shouldn't say that. An APC is a normal
Yeah.
class B.
Yeah, the best in the normal is a second best in a AP. PC, CP as a PC, I can't remember. It's like normal.
I don't know. Do you guys want to
Yeah.
continue the education or go to another?
Right.
I don't know. They didn't really come anything.
Well,
What would be the next after education?
Yeah.
we could probably go. We could go death penalty.
Does democracy work?
Does democracy?
No, think about it. Like, I'm not saying Republican democracy. I'm saying democracy. Like,
Does communism work?
Full. Okay. You know what? Let's just go to the Cuban embargo thing, because that's
No,
gonna
no.
no. That's gonna bring in communism.
Okay.
Because Cuba's
um,
still communist. Actually, I don't know. They may have had their.
They
today.
kind of
Are they still communist? Because I know Fidel Castro.
I'm gonna look up.
Yeah, Cuba is still communist.
Because I know they were doing a vote to change. I don't know if they did it though.
They're still communist.
But if you guys don't know what the Cuban embargo is, in the Obama's presidency, he lifted an embargo off Cuba so people could go to Cuba and they could trade with Cuba while they were still communist. So, I don't know. If my thing is, if Cuba switches from communism, like gets out of communism, fine, I'm fine with that. We can trade with them all they want. Like, I know we still trade with China, which isn't really communism, because they do vote just for 3 different communist leaders.
No, it's LSD for life. Xi
Well-
Jinping Finnish.
I
Well,
know
you
they
just
can't
should
use term
trade
limits.
with Cuba. I mean, if you don't trade with Cuba, then Cuba will trade with other countries, like with I don't know what's in there near Colombia or something, or Haiti.
Yes, Colombia, the cocaine country.
Yeah, you see, communism for cocaine.
Did you just say communism fucked cocaine?
Nine,
Yeah.
communism for cocaine.
For cocaine. Got it. I don't know. I don't think communism would ever work.
Works.
I don't think it works. Okay, good stuff. Why do you think it works?
I don't think it works.
I
Okay.
think it
I-
works.
Okay, Cats, explain. How would it work?
What do you mean? How will it?
How would communism
I
work?
actually know how it would work, right? Like it would have to be entirely voluntary, right? Stuff like China.
But greed. People are greedy.
Right.
No one's gonna be
Like,
voluntary to that.
No, fucking listen, right? If you made a country, right, and said, "Come to my country if you want socialism. Don't come if you don't want socialism," right?
But communism and socialism
And
are,
want
two,
to
are
actually
different
be
things.
equal would go to. Listen, all right. I'm not fucking finished. Right? Fuck you. All right. So everybody comes to your country, right? Because they'd all want to work for the greater good of the country, right? Because they want it to be equal.
But then there's human greed. But continue.
No, it wouldn't be human greed, right? Because the ones who aren't greedy are
You
coming.
can't get rid of human greed. People are
ones who
greedy
don't
by
wanna work
nature.
equally- the ones who don't want to work equally don't have to go to that socialist or communist country.
No, even people who want to be equal, they will be greedy. If you offer
No.
them something more than others, they will take it. Greed is a
Humans
natural
are
human.
only greedy when there is a possibility to be greedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't be greedy when there's nothing at all. No.
You see, if you're born in a capitalist world, you will be greedy.
Okay, think
But
about
if
this.
you're born
What about the
only-
leader of the country? What about the leader of the socialist country? Does he want to be
Wanna be
equal
just
to
as
everyone
equal.
else if
Well, we'd
he
make him
rules
just
the
equal 'cause
country?
the people would-
But what stops him from becoming like a full-on dictator and taking power?
Loss.
Every
don't-
country needs law.
Like look
Every
at
country.
USSR. That really went well. No greed or corruption in USSR, not at all.
Not at all.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally nothing. Not like everyone was supposed to be equal, and then the leaders were like, you know what? I like this power. Humans are greedy by nature. You can never get rid of that.
You can get rid of that.
No matter what, there will be greed.
If you make the whole world communist, if you have a complete Earth, if you have a complete communist Earth, communism will work. If there's no capitalism left, you will have communism.
Capitalism. Capitalism gives birth to communist. Communist make communism. Communism makes hard times, which brings in capitalists. Capitalists make capitalism, which gives you communism. Communist, and the cycle continues. As long as there's capitalism, and as long as there's capitalism or communism, they will always be here because they are complete opposites that are in a cycle. Communism will always lead to capitalism. Capitalism will always lead to communism.
No, it will not.
Now, if we had a free market, would that actually give birth to communism? What do you think, Kaiser?
Wait, what again? Sorry.
Like, if we had a free market, would that give birth to communism? Because it's a free market, so people can put up their prices for whatever. So if like one business puts up like cups for $50, another company can give birth and
Well,
sell them
kind
for
of,
like
but
10.
kind of not, right? It would depend on how the government wanted to divvy that up, right? If the government wanted to take all the money and then distribute it
No,
back
no, no,
evenly
no, no,
into
no.
the population, then
Free
yes, it would.
free market. There's no
You're
government.
kicking it all,
No
then
government.
no, that's. Oh god.
Government
that
does
wouldn't
not
work.
touch free market. The
No,
market
then
is
that'd be
free.
That'd be a narco-capitalism, right? If it's entirely anarchy except.
There is a government, but the government does not
Capitalism.
touch the market. The market is free. It is
If we're
run
doing
by the people.
Communism, right? Look at Pools Land, right? It's a little island off the side of Canada. It's kind of like Slab City, and
In Svedland.
is
It's not
they're all free
Svedland.
for themselves, right? They're all free for themselves, but they work together for the greater goal. And they don't really care about each other, but they also care about each other.
Thing is, it's like Laissez-faire. Laissez-faire things. The government does not touch the market. The market is ran by people. So if one business does, like, I'm going to use this again. If one business makes a cup for 50, another business, like, if people don't want to buy a cup for 50, another business will rise and sell it for cheaper. And that brings competition. Competition brings better prices. All the government would do is stop monopolies. Don't let monopolies form. And then the rest is ran by people. Now the thing is, if that's ran by people, would people go for communism then?
Yes.
You're just like, yes, I don't even know what to say after that.
Okay, you see, communism
Doesn't work.
will.
Okay, Gustav, since you said that, why does it not work?
Well, it may work for a period of time, but it always seems to end pretty bad, or starts badly. If we take China as a
China or Vietnam
China
or Russia.
Like China started pretty shit with the communist revolution. 50 million dead doesn't sound good in my book. It just doesn't. So if communism works, if you think it works, does it have to end with more death?
Most communists say, like, Cass is probably going to do this, I don't know. Communism, yes, you kill a lot at the beginning, but capitalism kills people over time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, my country is failing because we're
You guys are going super
both.
socialist. Oh, he's in Sweden, so he's kind of getting fucking bitch slapped by...
Yeah, we're
Islam.
the market is capitalist, but the policies are socialist. But now they're driving up taxes, prices, everything, pretty much, and cutting back on the welfare.
No, you're only getting fucked by SJWs.
That's all Sweden. Social justice warriors.
Social justice warriors would be on his side because he's Sweden, he has all the Muslims.
No, they would say he's racist for, I don't know.
For being white.
Yep.
Okay, Katz, how does communism work? Describe how it works. And why people would not turn on communism.
Communism means the people have the mean of production and everything. The people lead the country. And
Wouldn't that mean free market, though? Because the people run the market. For a free market,
there
laissez-faire,
won't
the
be
people run the market.
there would be no market.
Then where would people get the stuff?
They would get like some rationing, I don't know, coupons or something. They would go get the rations, eat them, walk, and repeat.
So basically, they're getting everything from the government.
Yes, and they're
Doesn't that
walking
wait?
together.
But if it's government, isn't communism ran by the people, meaning there would be no government.
Well, there has to
Anarchy
be-
is the closest thing to communism you'll get,
there has
or
to be
full
something.
democracy, because then everyone votes. But
For humans, there has to be someone above them and give them direction. You see, in the old ages, they had God. God said like, don't kill people, don't do that stuff, pray for me, and they did it. Now we have people who are higher up and say, don't do that, pay me taxes, do that. You see, people need someone higher up.
But don't the higher ups need someone above them, though?
also, what stops the higher ups from being greedy and corrupt?
Nothing,
Well,
pretty much.
Look at Stalin. He's trying to kill. He killed his right. No, yeah, he killed his right hand man after he killed his. Well, supposedly not killed, but I still think he killed him. He was the right hand man. He killed his person, and then he killed his right hand man, and then he purged his whole government. because he thought they were going to turn on him.
Yeah.
He was a corrupt dictator who killed millions.
Because that was false communism.
Oh my god.
It was not real communism.
Okay, what is real communism? Will real communism ever work? And has it ever been given?
It can only be established if the whole world is communist and is working for a greater good.
So
But in this
basically,
world with capitalism,
when
it's not working.
when one country owns the whole world and we're going to other planets, then it would work.
Yes.
But what stops rebellions?
Well, you have to believe in it.
Okay, what if people don't want to believe?
Well, that's
Um,
good. That goes back to my earlier statement, right? Where you'd have to make it voluntary. You couldn't force people into communism like North Korea does.
You mean you can establish a Mars colony, a communist Mars colony, and you can go there if you're communist.
My thing
Oh,
is,
yeah.
communism could work in small scale with trusted people. But
Yeah.
otherwise, it's never going to work. So you never know the intentions of others. You don't know
No.
what people want or strive for.
Well,
Because
and
people
that's,
look for the approval and the growth in themselves. If they never move, they're not going to try. Also, if
Okay.
everyone's equal, with someone who's working to death, and then there's someone who doesn't move an inch, they're equal, apparently. Like a doctor or
Human.
let me see, like to a hobo. They're equal. They make the same amount of money. One does nothing, one is a fucking doctor.
well, the other one will do something because it's communism. And although
But wait, no, what makes him do stuff though if everyone's equal? What's the point of him doing anything if he's gonna get money because from others?
well, he won't get anything if he doesn't do anything.
Then everyone's not equal.
Well, only those who work will be equal.
Okay, so it's not communism then. That's capitalism. The people that are working get stuff.
Well, and
The
what's
people who
with-
don't work don't get
and what's with
anything.
and what's with your constitution? All people are created equally.
Yes, everyone
think
is
about it,
equal,
right.
but economically equal, that's a different thing. Everyone is
Capitalism
equal.
isn't any better, though, if you think about it, right? Because what stops for somebody from working really, really fucking hard, right? Like breaking their back, doing labor or whatever, right? And make dirt nothing.
Exactly, they're not
And
equal.
does-
There is literally no
and
difference.
does dirt nothing, and then gets everything.
Leads to socialism then, because people are doing nothing and getting stuff. Right now, America is not fully capitalist. We are not capitalists. We are. What are we? What do you want to say? What do you want to say we are? Because we're a little bit of a mix. We're like social capitalist almost.
What the
'Cause-
social capitalist?
I don't know.
That's
Let's hear me out. We have capitalist style, but the government still takes care of people. Like we still have healthcare. We still have like
Yeah,
healthcare.
like,
We
sure.
still have
No, we're like borderline socialist.
yeah.
If your government really will take care of people, you would have free schools, healthcare. I mean, your healthcare.
God,
is
free
like
healthcare
shit.
would do horrible. We need
Yeah,
private
just
healthcare.
look-
Private
just Look
healthcare.
at Sweden right now. Just
So look at Germany. Germany is good. Everything's better in Germany.
Totally.
compared to what? North Korea?
Compared to what?
Compared to America.
No.
Look at schools.
Oh,
Schools are better. Everything is better. Society is better. We even have conquered, at a time, the whole fucking Europe. Okay?
no,
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 you
you did
didn't
not
take
have
Sweden.
Switzerland.
Of course
You did
it's
not have
not.
Switzerland.
Uh,
You also didn't have Italy. You didn't have Spain.
Italy was an Axis. Spain was fascist.
Yeah, but they weren't.
Yeah, but you
German.
said all of Europe.
Spain
You said all of
wasn't. They
Europe.
were kept out of it all.
Yeah,
Sweden
nearly-
wasn't either.
Well,
nearly
think
all.
about Switzerland.
Well, Switzerland is just neutral and
Same
it's
with
just being there. Switzerland is like the quiet kid in class.
Sweden was a
sitting in the
German.
back, not doing anything.
Sweden was a German puppet for all I care.
Yeah.
Like, my opinion is we need private stuff. So private healthcare.
yeah.
Only thing we should have public is education. And Yeah, education.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
things
your
for like.
education, I mean, you have to pay for your college and stuff.
Well, yeah, but
But in
that's
Germany-
different. You don't need to go to college. It's good if you do.
Well, you kind of do in our society.
No, actually, you
Or in-
don't. There's been a few
In
studies
America,
where
yes,
it makes literally no difference half the time.
you're still gonna be dirt poor either way. You have to go to a really good college. In
I don't
life,
know. It's like no matter where you go.
you're equally bad unless you go to a really, really good college.
No, like I know I'm talking about like any country really. No matter where you go, you're gonna be kind of screwed. Because if you were
Well, you're gonna
born
be equal.
if you are born poor, you most likely will grow up poor. Whatever bracket you are in, you will stay in that bracket. That's why we need
So
just do a flat tax. A flat tax, everyone's taxed equally.
so that's like India. India has also the same system.
I don't know what India is. I need to check
India
that.
has the same system. India has like India is like well, how to describe it? There are those people who are oh fuck, I don't know the English word. It's like an IKEA. It's like an IKEA, okay? You know, in IKEA there are those big
IKEA.
rooms. Yeah, IKEA. There are those big rooms filled with everything. Yeah, those big
Uh-huh.
rooms, you know. And at the bottom there's stuff, and at the top there's stuff, and that's like India. When you're at the bottom, when you're at the bottom, you're fucked, and at the top, you're good. Okay.
I don't think
That's-
I've ever actually been to an IKEA.
Basically an IKEA. Just imagine Walmart, really.
Okay. Yeah. Walmart. So
Where there's like small stuff in the front, and then it slowly gets bigger the farther back you go.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And India is like when you're born in the poor society, you are fucked, and you will stay there. So you can't go out.
India has a lot of problems as well.
Well,
like-
India will be a superpower. They will unite
The
with
whole
China.
package.
They're
Like-
only really a super one because of their population.
Yeah.
Their health-wise, they are horrid. Like,
Electronic
Well-
industry is also really good for 20 and stuff.
Well, and that's only because they have so a big population. But in the cities, it's
Their education, like
they know English well
Their
because they
population.
were they know English because they were English colony. So they can do like I don't know, call center. You know, everyone is working for a fucking big call center in India. They can do that.
it's like there's no real good way government can be.
No.
But
Look at Norway and Denmark. There's some examples.
Denmark's going pretty bad because of their taxes. Their taxes are rising pretty rapidly.
Yes.
And
but
I don't know about
their,
Norway
their
though.
healthcare is
Yes, I
still
know, we're doing well.
working. Their police isn't in crisis. They don't have 300,000. What are old people?
Let's just look at Switzerland actually. Has anything gone wrong in Switzerland?
Don't they have
No.
direct democracy?
Yeah, Switzerland is the best country.
What do
actually.
they have? Also, everyone owns a gun in Switzerland, so
Yep.
That's good.
I mean, I'm gonna look up Switzerland real quick to figure out what their
I
gun is, 'cause I don't
I
know.
talked with one Swiss person one point. We talked about like immigration crisis, and I
Yeah.
made the same like there's no real immigrants that went to Switzerland.
Yeah,
Hmm.
Switzerland do have direct democracy.
Switzerland's government is a federation, parliamentary system. They're also a federal republic, a direct democracy, and a directorial system.
Yeah,
Yep.
direct democracy is the best democracy. in
Best
my-
democracy, I mean, direct democracy is true democracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Like
that's
America
what it
is not truly democratic either. We are, what are we, a constitutional republic?
Yeah. Constitutional Republic, that's what America and many other countries are.
And very little, like direct democracy is really close to communism in a way. If you want to, that's a stretch, but everyone's equal. Like everyone's votes are equal. Everyone's votes matter.
Well, but you have, well, we are discussing about capitalism and communism. But what's about National Socialism?
It's still socialism.
National Socialism, fascism.
I could see National Socialism working. That's the sad thing.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
it did work.
Good, as long as you don't go to war.
It did
ma-
really
like
well
national-
for
That whole
Germany.
nationalism part, though. It's just that whole nationalism part, though.
Oh no, no, I don't know.
Well,
As long as you don't go and
He
kill
has the
people.
power to enforce what he wants.
As long
it's
as you don't go and kill people,
Nationalism.
you'll be fine.
yeah.
Can we include fascism?
If we had
Fascism.
if we had a
Fascism.
fascist country
Right?
that didn't
Fascism
go
is
and
really
kill
cool.
people and wasn't so
Socialism.
racist, I feel it would run pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, look
Or-
at Germany, 1914.
Or
Not 1914, 1939.
1933.
Yeah.
No, 1933 was something else. Never mind.
Well, if you look fascism, got Germany from
1930,
fucked country to,
1933 to 1937, you'll see a huge increase
Mm-hmm.
in income, and it's
Same
like,
thing when I think it was the same thing when Mussolini came to power in Italy.
yeah.
yeah.
Like I remember reading something about in 1920s U.S. like politicians saying, "Oh look how great," newspapers saying, "Oh look how great Italy is doing," with the new leader of Mussolini, Benito Mussolini.
Well, Italy is actually a whore because they fucking backstabbed Germany.
Well,
okay?
you guys were gonna backstab them if Germany won the war.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck? Italy was like, yeah, we just backstabbed them, and then we rescued Mussolini.
Well, good, don't worry. Yeah.
Rescued Mussolini. Mussolini got killed in Rome.
No.
Was killed.
No. The Germans made like with 10 Wehrmacht soldiers, they made an operation, rescued Mussolini, and I don't know what happened after.
He died.
He died.
Yeah,
It
he
didn't go
died.
well.
Okay, I'm
He
gonna.
died in Rome.
Okay, guys.
By the hands of the people of Italy.
We're gonna end this debate, and we're gonna go to another one here in a second.
Harryism.
Probably not.
No.